Local man who is known for digging nearly 11,000 graves has passed away, and those who knew him say he will never be forgotten. He is being celebrated as a devoted family man, a military vet, and a local folk hero. A somber day for most, but for James Hopes Phillips and his family, it was a celebration of a wonderful life lived.
He is the most amazing, selfless man that anyone could know.
Phillips was a grave digger, now being laid to rest in seemingly the one grave he didn't dig.
He's done over 11,000 graves. I mean, he pretty much owns the rights to all the.
Phillips was so highly regarded, he had stories written about him in the local paper, and he dug every single one of those 11,000 graves by hand.
He had these big hands, and so
no backhoe for James.
He didn't use machinery like that. He literally had a shovel, a spade, which he called a sharpshooter, and a wheelbarrow.
Daughter Sandy and granddaughter Tiffany said everyone who knew James always talked about the great pride he took in his work.
My dad was always precise. Everything was neat. Everything was done correctly.
All of his graves were 8 feet long, 3 feet wide, and 4.5 feet deep.
James knew that every grave he dug was important, a life that was so special.
See his ledger and stuff. He has a ledger of every single person. He knows where every single plot is, every single lot.
Being a grave digger was actually James's side job. He worked full-time at Stowe Mills until it closed. James would dig the graves before work.
Man, he was up at 5:30 in the morning.
And after work at night and on the weekends.
He was always working, it sounds like.
But then he never neglected his family either. That everybody had what they needed and more.
Even on James's last days, it was never about him.
The whole time he was in the hospital, the first thing he did was always ask, "How is the kids? How are you?"
And they wanted everyone to know the James Hopeisms.
He has these little corny sayings and everything. Don't cross no dry branches.
I ain't never felt better and had less. Keep your eye on the sparrow. And what would a man who dug 11,000 graves in his life want for his final resting place?
He always talked about that Monticello vault that he had to have, the best of the best, comparing them to like Mercedes and Cadillacs.
He's an amazing man. He really is.
A special man he was. James Hope Phillips died from pneumonia. He was 87 years old.